is rocking part of the country in Nigeria. Representative Aminu Suleiman, representing Fagge Federal Constituency in Kano State, is warning Nigerians on crisis and many more. Join me and hear from him as he addresses Nigerians.
Who are not only calling for restructuring, even those who want to dismember Nigeria is better. Instead of us to go into war, it's better we allow anybody who wants to go. From what is happening, it is like Nigeria is becoming an orphan. So if it is an orphan, let everybody find an uncle house. Certainly these are not the best of time for Nigeria. It's so unfortunate that we have found ourselves in this very serious quagmire, like you rightly describe it. Some of it are man-made, some of it are a consequence of our very negative attitude and approach as a nation. Yes, the natural one that occur not as a result of any action or inaction by our government or Nigeria is the serious security situation as it relates to the issue of terrorism and terror and the issue of banditry. Those one, I will be free to say that they are a natural occurrences, not as a result of any action or inaction, even though it could also be argued that ab initio we should have acted differently from what we acted before the situation snowballed into the current situation. However, if we said that these ones are natural occurrences, because issue of terrorism is a global issue that is not alien to others, but only to us. But again, what of the injury that we are inflicting on ourselves, daily in, daily out? I am disturbed as a person that government, and when I say government, I cannot exonerate myself. I am in a privileged position to share from success or blame, and therefore I remain guilty myself if government is guilty directly or indirectly. For those as legislatures, we have recommitted ourselves to ensure availability of all legislative input that could help government and security agencies to arrest the situation. But yesterday in a forum I argued, and I argued from the bottom of my heart, and I still believe in that. We needed seriously to be serious as a nation. Those who are clamoring for crisis in this country probably were not around in 1966. They are not around. They are only looking at the luxury of crisis. They are only looking at the luxury of crisis. In period of crisis, even you journalists cannot operate. You may not even have the opportunity to write sentimentally as some of you do. You may not even, because people will be running helter-skelter for their own lives. I argued yesterday that we needed to be careful. If we are creating problem for goodness sake, because we are not happy with anybody who is in power, the best thing is to be ready with our PBC so that we can retrench that person when 2023 comes. As long as we love democracy, we must be prepared to tolerate inept government until the time of decision comes. It is very fundamental. Otherwise, most of these incidences outside banditry and terrorism are politically induced. Yesterday I talked to some of our friends from the East that we needed to be careful because some of us are busy containing reprisals, telling people not to mind what is happening. If you go and find an innocent man selling suya and you slaughter him because you don't like Buhari, how does that affect Buhari, for goodness sake? And the poor man selling suya, what has he done? But what they forget is that the man you slaughter on the street of Onitsha, I'm not saying it's happening in Onitsha, have relation, either in Sokoto or in Gusau. And where he is slaughtered, they also have people staying there. What will happen if mad people from the other side reacted the way mad people in the other side reacted? Reprisal, anarchy, war. We needed to be careful. And truly speaking, I, for one, is now ready to support those who are not only calling for restructuring, even those who want to dismember Nigeria is better. Instead of us to go into war, it's better we allow anybody who wants to go. From what is happening, it is like Nigeria is becoming an orphan. So if it is an orphan, let everybody find an uncle house and go and stay. Instead of us to go to war, I will vote for separation. Peaceful separation on the table. You go to your place, this one go to his place, this one goes, so that if we want to visit one another, we will require visa to go and do that. If we want to buy from one another, we will require visa and entry permit to go and do it. It's better than calling ourselves brothers and we'll be killing ourselves for no reason. Because it is happening now and nobody is talking, nobody is complaining. By the time it reaches a crescendo, a relation of those people are receiving dead body, let's be fair, let's be sincere. Do you think that it will continue? People will not react. And nobody is talking about this because those who are killed are relation of number one enemy. And it is quite unfortunate. I am being blunt because you asked the question, what is the Phoenicia? What is happening? All of us are worried. But again, all of us, whichever religion you're doing, we're all descendants of Adam. All of us. We're descendants of Adams. I just saw a clip, a friend of mine sent it to me from Abakalaki. He went to Israel. And in Israel, in the same vicinity, he saw Muslims going to pray, Christians observing service, and the Israel observing their own service too. In the same vicinity, everybody is going differently to his own. Nobody is harassing anybody. Nobody. But here, person who can hardly breakfast will carry cutlass and go and kill another of his fellow simply because they don't speak the same tongue or they don't belong to the same faith. Is alarming, is terrible. It's really, 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 really terrible. I spoke in the forum because I, for one, have a peculiar, very, very peculiar responsibility. I am from Kano, and all the non-indigenous that stayed in Kano are living in my constituency. So if there is crisis today, I will be in trouble because I must speak to protect those people. But I will also be severely disadvantaged if I am confronted with corpses of people from the people I want to defend in Kano. I will be severely disadvantaged. We needed to be very, very, very careful as a nation to learn from history. Small boys that have not seen any crisis beyond street fighting are now leading debate and conversation on how we will go to war, even though unpronounced. And the elders and the educated and the elites are watching, are clapping, some remorsefully, some enjoying it. You need to be careful, because it is like we are on our way to Rwanda. God forbid.
Will you call on the elites to speak out now?
Absolutely, we must. It is on record that when this incident happened, I went back to my constituency, and side by side, I called the district head of Kano, who is in my constituency. I called the Eze, I called the Seriki Yoruba, because they are all domiciled in Sabangari, for those of you that know the geography of Kano. And Sabangari is part and parcel of my constituency. Igbos voted, some voted for me, some negative. But those who voted for me and those who don't vote are now my responsibility. If there is any crisis, I don't sleep. Any crisis in Kano, start from my constituency. That is why I am very, very worried. Very, very, very worried. The earlier we speak, not only speak, we act, and we speak and act innocently. Innocently. In the past, when there used to be crisis in Kano, I used to be the most restless person. Because in trying to speak to the truth to my people, I might be looked at negatively. Now that my people are disadvantaged elsewhere, I must speak. Because if I refuse to speak, I will speak when it will be too late or unhelp. Because by the time people will start to react, again, it will be my responsibility to provide shelter and protection for them same Nigerians that are innocent. They don't know what is happening in Abakalaki. They don't know what is happening in Owerri. They are not part and parcel of it. But again, the innocent people that were killed there, what was their offense? What was their offense? What have they done? What? So the most serious sin, even though people might think it is unreasonable, is for us to sit. If everybody want to go, let's dismember this country. Let's dismember it. Everybody should go to where he will be safe. If we will not, then I will vote for a review of the provision of the Constitution that gives Nigerians right to live everywhere. Then let's put it alone. If you are not from Imo, don't go there. Since we want to turn ourselves to a banana republic. We are crazy, we are stupid. So no problem. It's safe. If you carry yourself there and they kill you, you are on your own. Then they should also remember, too, that they have people there. And even the argument of balance. Elders in Igbo land should speak. I am being very, very serious. The ordinary Nozna that is staying there is either a cobbler or a security guard or a tomato seller. The Igbos that are staying in the north are millionaires, entrepreneurs. So when it comes to balance of terror, who will lose much? Who will lose much? The tomato seller can run and leave the tomato around for his life. But the one that had billions in investment there, where will he run and leave his investment to? I think we needed to be very, very serious about it. Now we are faced with twin problem. Twin problem as a nation, terrorism and banditry. That one has no constituency. They don't have constituency. As they kill Christians, they kill Muslims. So those ones have no constituency. They are our general enemy. But this one, Kuma, we are creating another enmity between ourselves. You are Igbo, he is Yoruba, I'm Hausa, then we are killing ourselves. But at our level, we can sit here and talk. And lastly, also, you, the press, are part of this problem. But, in fact, you take the highest, in my own opinion. Although you report and act as dictated by your employers, and the employers, the elite, are responsible for this. When a small issue that affect others happen, they downplay it. It is not reported. A small one that happened elsewhere will give you given the widest coverage. It's not fair. They know what they are doing. They know it's wrong. They know it's not correct. So I will accuse them through you people. You are their agent. You are their agent. It's not fair. We are just talking embers when it erupted. I pray nothing will make me become a rebel that will carry gun to fight because of stupidity of some people. The best is I will use my pen and my board to say everybody should go his own way.
Honorable Nigerian.
Which useless conference? How many conferences are we going to have? Which conference? Which conference have we not had? The people who go to the conference, are they not the owners of AIT channels, TBC, Wanini? Are they not the owners? Are they not alive when negativity, fake news, non-existent news are being broadcast? Are they not there? Are they not the owners? And all of us big men, all of us, including small big men like myself, we have friends. We will not fight among ourselves. We will not do anything. In the last 1 week, I have sent 2 Igbo people into executive position. I have recommended because they are my friends. I didn't remember they are Igbos, and I didn't do it because they are Igbos. I do it because they are my friends and we are close. But those my friends may not talk when they are killing Northerners in Oweri. I may not talk when they are killing people in Easterners in Kano. What are we talking? What kind of hypocrisy is this? Then we talk of conference. If you're talking of conference for an issue that has no solution and will be finding a solution, are we not aware of the problems? We are the architect of our own problem. What conference are we going to talk? You want to invite people to go and sit in air condition, blow grammar, speak to the camera. At the end of the day, nothing comes out of it. Nothing. We have over how many conferences in Nigeria? Which one has ever been implemented? Which one? The last one was the Jonathan conference. He refused to implement it until he leaves power. When he leaves power, they say implement it. Why didn't he implement it? He comboed the conference. He should have implemented it immediately. But by the time they bring the report, either areas that affected him or affected his friends, they will tell him, my friend, don't implement this. Even this one, Obama, is better because he said he will not. Say he will not combo any conference. But if he did, and the report comes out, in his slow motion, he will have lived before the report will be considered. So what are we talking about? A very nice issue yesterday in an informal meeting. We have contemplated a number of measures, some of which might not be proper for me to share here because they are security related. However, I think there's a collectivity of opinion now that emphasis must be shifted on our schools because the bandits and the terrorists, who are twin brothers, believe that the easiest target they can get and get away with our institutions. They believe that there are already people there who are vulnerable with little security. Sometimes until you are in a position of inability before you will be able to realize that you have been taking things for granted. I think the incidences these few days have helped to refocus attention, and the meetings we had and we're going to have today, tomorrow, are meetings that are basically on how to secure our institutions of learning. I think beside the issue of ransom taking, receiving and giving, I think there is also an attempt to scare away people and I think as a nation we should not, for whatever reason, give in to this. No matter the situation, except in a situation of war, no country should gamble with the issue of education of her citizens, and therefore we are working assiduously to ensure that that is nipped, and no window again is allowed open for the bandit to operate in our institutions of higher learning. What happened sort of vindicate our insistences each time when we had cause to ask government to provide additional funding for fencing of our institution. I think this will soon be an issue of the past. Serious attention is actually being focused towards securing all our institutions of higher learning, and we have received commitment to that effect from a security agency.
I'm Bemiga Olamikon, reporting for GTV Africa.